Tonight's storm at Fairmont Crest doesn't begin with thunder, it begins with 6 quiet words that blow apart everything we thought we knew. Andre, the man who built his reputation on control, charm, and cold calculation, has crossed a line he can't erase, stepping into a scorching affair with Dani that isn't just about desire, it's about power, legacy, and a dangerous plan to lock his future into her bloodline. While Dani is pulled deeper into his orbit, Ashley stands on the edge of emotional collapse, watching the man she loves slip through her fingers and straight into the arms of someone willing to burn the world with him. But what Andre doesn't see, what Dani doesn't suspect, is that this choice doesn't just create a love triangle, it awakens a lethal secret, one that, when exposed, won't just shatter hearts, it could destroy careers, families, and everything inside the gates. Stay with me, because once you hear what Andre is really planning, and what Ashley is about to do in return, you'll realize this is no longer a story about love, it's the opening move of a war. Andre never intended for things to go this far, but once the flames crossed the moral line, he found himself building a prison of lust and ambition, where Dani became the center of the storm of seduction, while Ashley was left on the fringes, watching everything fall apart with no way to stop it. It all started as a power play, as Andre was used to with the women who had passed through his life, but with Dani, it was a deeper sting, a challenge, an opportunity, and a poison. Dani was not only beautiful, she was sharp, dangerous, knew the weaknesses of the man before her and was not afraid to drag him into a vortex that they both knew was wrong. Amidst the warm lights of Fairmont Crest, the quiet rooms behind closed doors, the cleverly arranged appointments under the guise of work, Andre realized he was no longer simply looking to Dani to fill a void, but was quietly plotting a future where she stood beside him, not as a distraction, but as a strategic card. The hot emotions, the touch of his hand, the nights when he disappeared without explanation, all gradually strung together into something more dangerous, a plan for control. Andre looked at Dani and saw the possibility of creating a new alliance, a new family, a child that could become a rope that would tie her to him, and also to the forces that surrounded Dani, making them people who could not easily leave his orbit. In Andre's mind, love, lust, power, and calculation merged, and he began to think of Dani's pregnancy as an inevitable move, an end to everything loose and uncertain. If Dani had his child, she would never completely belong to anyone else, and he would no longer be someone who could be thrown away in a moment of change of heart. Meanwhile, Ashley stood on the sidelines of a war she did not choose, but was dragged into with all her heart. Ashley was not a weak girl, she had been hurt, had seen men cheat, had known what it was like to be looked down upon, and that was why she thought that when she came to Andre, she had chosen a different man, a smart, ambitious but deep man who appreciated her loyalty. Ashley trusted her feelings, in the rare moments when Andre showed her a little sincerity, a few looks that seemed to belong to her. From that belief, she nurtured the illusion that if she loved enough, patient enough, Andre would realize that she was the one who would stand by him for a long time. Ashley was not stupid, she soon sensed something off in Andre's silences, in his interrupted calls, his last-minute cancellations, his nights when he said he was busy handling someone else's crisis. Dani appeared as a name Ashley didn't want to acknowledge as a threat, but all the signs pointed in the same direction. She heard the whispers, caught the ambiguous glances, felt the cold distance in Andre's touch. And despite the pain, Ashley found one last way to negotiate. She wanted Andre to leave Dani, wanted him to end the relationship and return to the safe, simple option she was offering him. In Ashley's mind, loving Andre meant saving him from the mistakes he was about to make, from a future where Dani brought only chaos. She spoke to him of faith, of a second chance, of how he could choose a less destructive path, and deep down, Ashley had a glimmer of hope that she would be the one he chose, the one where he would find peace instead of blind passion. But Andre wasn't looking for peace, at least not at this stage of his life. He was burning with the feeling of being challenged, of being close to danger, of being pushed to limits he knew he shouldn't be. With Dani, he felt sharper, more powerful, more capable of turning the tables in the dark. The relationship with Dani wasn't just physical, it was also complicity in plans no one else knew about, secrets that, if exposed, would cause a chain of explosions in the family, in internal politics, in the web of interests that surrounded Fairmont Crest. Andre believed that if he possessed Dani completely, he could use her as a key to other doors, finances, influence, connections to the people behind her. The idea of a child came not from a need to be a father, but from a strategic instinct. A child with Dani would be a permanent bond, a living proof that Dani could not turn away, a knife to the heart of anyone who thought they could separate them. Andre didn't say it out loud, but in the way he looked at Dani, there was a cold possessiveness that was different from what Ashley had ever received. He wanted Dani to be not just his in secret, but an inseparable part of his life, and the more he thought about it, the more he pushed Ashley away, cruelly but deliberately. The moment Andre made his decision, everything went from vague to irreversible. In a closed space, amidst the heavy atmosphere of the truth about to be spoken, Ashley faced him, carrying a last effort to save what she thought could still be saved. She not only asked him to stay, she offered to break up with Dani for him. She was willing to forgive, willing to start over, willing to bear all the pain as long as Andre stopped before things got out of control. Ashley thought he still had some humanity for her feelings, for the memories of the early days when she believed he was the place to go. But Andre was on the other side of the line at that time. He understood that if he continued to let Ashley exist as an option, he would have to face his own weakness. He was afraid that compassion would pull him back, ruining his plan with Dani. And so, for a brief moment, Andre chose coldness as a weapon to defend himself. 6 words came out, clear, sharp as a knife, cutting through every remnant of illusion Ashley had tried to cling to. I choose Dani, you're gone. 6 words, not long, requiring no explanation, leaving no room for negotiation. Those 6 words were not just a final word, but an oath to the new game Andre had decided to embark on. They told Ashley where she stood, gave Dani a hidden message that he had made a bet, and gave Andre a mirror to look at himself. From that moment on, he was officially a traitor. The shock was not just that Andre chose Dani over Ashley, but that he left no way out for anyone. When Ashley realized those 6 words carried the intention of Dani having Andre's child, everything was shaken in another way. Pregnant, child, future, all appeared in Ashley's imagination like a life sentence for her heart. She wasn't just abandoned, she was replaced by a woman who would carry his blood, become his family in a way she never had the chance to. For Ashley, it was no longer a failed love story, but a fundamental humiliation, a stab through the trust she had given Andre. From pain, Ashley slid into anger. Behind the seemingly broken exterior, Ashley was secretly growing something else, the need to give Andre and Dani what they deserved. With her kindness crushed, what was left inside her was a void that could easily be filled by extreme thoughts. Ashley began to think about honor, about secrets, about things she knew that Andre had forgotten she could use. She remembered the stories he had let slip, the shady moves, the names, the files, the deals, the nights he thought she didn't care. All of them suddenly became potential weapons. Meanwhile, the real secret Andre is desperately hiding threatens to come to the surface. The pattern of control he's trying to build with Dani and their future child isn't just based on emotions, it's also built on hidden contracts, dirty money, and commitments that, if broken, will expose him and several others. Andre thinks he can love, use, and manipulate, but he underestimates 2 things, the devastation of a betrayed woman, and the fragility of the secrets he thinks he has. Ashley no longer stands there pleading. She steps back, silent, observing, connecting the dots, listening to the whispers she once ignored. Every step Andre takes toward Dani, every plan he makes to tie his life to her, pushes him closer to an explosion that Ashley could set off. And the most bitter thing is that Andre doesn't realize, the very act of ruthlessly dismissing Ashley with those 6 seemingly definitive words has freed her from all moral constraints, given her a legitimate reason to do what she never thought she would do, and turned her into the most dangerous variable in the game he confidently controls. The shocking secret that the story suggests may not be Andre's affair with Dani, but something darker waiting to be exposed, a financial connection, a political conspiracy, an old hidden sin, or a truth about Andre's true self that, if exposed by Ashley or Dani, would instantly destroy the polished image he has built for so long. Dani may think she is the chosen one, the one Andre wants to have a child with to assert his position, but she is not sure if she fully understands what she is getting into, or if she is just a beautiful pawn in a larger game. Ashley, with her broken heart and sharp memory, may be the first to pull that curtain back. The question is no longer who Andre loves more, but which weapon Ashley will choose, and when the secret is broken, will Andre still have enough power to keep Dani, keep the child, keep his reputation, or will he lose everything because of 6 words that seem certain but are the starting point for an irreversible disaster? And now, as the lights inside Fairmont Crest dim and the cameras pull back, nothing is truly resolved, everything is merely repositioned. Andre walks away believing he has secured his future with Dani, convinced that desire, control, and one calculated promise can bind her to him forever. Dani, still flushed with the thrill of being chosen, doesn't see the trap hidden inside his devotion, or the shadow of a secret that could turn her from partner into collateral. And Ashley, the one everyone is underestimating, is no longer the woman begging to be loved. She is the woman who has seen the truth, memorized every lie, and quietly decided she will not be the only one bleeding when this is over. Somewhere between those 6 words and the next sunrise lies a file, a memory, a buried connection that ties Andre's plans to something darker than an affair, something that, if exposed, could topple far more than his love life. So the question isn't just whether Dani will end up carrying Andre's child, or whether Ashley will forgive him. The real question is, when the first piece of this secret finally cracks on camera, whose side will you be on, and how many lives are you willing to watch burn for one man's need to win? Stay tuned, because this war has only fired its first shot.